those of you that don't know me, all 4 or 5 of you, I'm Barbara Fields. I teach silversmithing here. I teach in Nashville every now and then, but mostly here. I have this bracelet that I call the world's easiest project because it only requires a piece of wire and a couple of mandrels, or used to be pieces of something else, vice grips. Mark was supposed to leave me a vice, but he didn't, so I got Mr. Wayne over here to give me a hand. So this metal here, and you can pass it around, is just as it comes from Rio. It's really hard. You can't manipulate it. Half round 4-gauge wire. And you can't do anything with it unless you anneal it. This piece has been annealed, and you can see it's easier to bend. And annealing is where you slowly heat the metal up with your torch, and it messes with the molecular structure of the metal, because when you get it, it's all tight like this. And you add heat and it kind of spreads out and loosens up. And by doing that, it's easier for us to work with it. So this piece has been annealed, and normally I've got a vise that I put things into, but without a vise, we'll just improvise. I'm good at improvising. So my hands will cooperate. That's your end. And when I first came up with this project, it was my thought to make 2 students work together, by one holding and, the other one twisting, and that way they're, engaged with each other. The trick is you got to pull back. I'll pull it out of my hands, and you start twisting it. And you just keep twisting.
Turns you gotta
Oh, I don't know, till my hands give out.
Until it looked like you wanted.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty good. So by pulling back, you keep the twist equal. They don't all bunch up on one end or the other. And by working it like that, we work hardened it again a bunch. It's not going to want to bend unless you really make it, and I'm going to. So I think I'm the queen of the cheap tool. This is part of a baseball bat. It works really well for a mandrel. The other thing is you never want to thumb wrestle me.
keep your students in line too.
Yeah. So and it's good to get a little anger out. Could have used some several years ago. So the thing about the baseball bat is it makes it round. And you don't have to worry about where the ends come out at. This is part of an axe handle. It's oval, like your wrist. And here I do worry about where the ends are, because you want them to come out even. So and that ought to fit you, Wayne. Am I wrong? Maybe.
This is it. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So that was 7.5 inches of 4-gauge sterling silver half round wire. That's all it took. It didn't need soldering. It didn't need, it'll get pickled later, and I'll run it through the tumbler, and I'll put it in the auction for next week. Yeah, you can pass those around if you want to. Those are the finished, and then this is the one I just did. Questions?
Barbara, I apologize for coming in late. Did you anneal that first?
I annealed it in the classroom before I got in here. I knew what I needed. But unless you anneal it, you can't manipulate it. It's too stiff. Now maybe the lighter gauge I can play with and get it to work, but not the heavy duty stuff. And the 4-gauge is, when you're buying wire, the lower the number, the heavier the metal. So with the half round, you get 0, which I won't buy because I can't use it, and 2, which is still too heavy, and then this is the next one up. So it's pretty heavy stuff. It's probably about, feels like about an ounce of silver in there, so it'd be about $40 to make it. And it's easy. Everybody in my class makes one, don't you guys?
Yes, we do.
Anybody who's been in my class has made one of these. And if you take my class, you'll make one of these. Because it gets you used to working with the torch, you know, and the temperature and everything that you need to get it to anneal. The heavier the metal, the harder or the longer it takes. But other than that, this is as easy as you get.